aspirations of being a huge Sam Raimi fan. Funnily enough, there's a few of his films I haven't seen. His baseball one, The Gift with Cate Blanchett, and before now, The Quick and the Dead, a Sam Raimi Western. A lot of people would probably be going, would that work? Within the first 3 minutes, I was kind of like, and his orchestral score is like something that Rob Tappert and Sam Raimi would have for their television series, their, the one with Lucy Lawless. You know, the Rob Tappert, Sam Raimi gravy train where they were like, let's make television stuff. And then I was blown away. This is pure Raimi anarchy. Westerns are generally boring. They're long in the tooth, they're slow. There's few directors. Even Sergio Leone, I'm just a little bit like, ugh, get on with it. Someone who subverted the Western genre. Not Clint Eastwood, Quentin Tarantino. Gives it an energy, a retro aesthetic and appeal. Coming off of watching Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained, The Hateful Eight, I was kind of like, that's like up there as pivotal Western film viewing. I do like some of Jimmy Stewart's originals, but off the top of my head I can't give the names. So coming into this I was a little bit like, am I going to be biased? And then as the film started to unravel, I was like, this genre was made for Raimi. It gives him an opportunity for those slanted angles, those whip pans, those crazy zooms. What Raimi does with the camera is, or in this case, fuck. Holy fuck. What's interesting is Sharon Stone was at the peak of her career here, and she drafted in Sam Raimi. Looking at Sharon Stone, you wouldn't think that the woman really had taste in directors, especially in taste in directors as cultastic and uncommercial at that time in Raimi's career. And she was like, I really want Sam Raimi to make this, and I'm glad she did, with a really strong script by Sam Moore. A pretty simple premise. The most simplistic Western movie I've watched. And I think that's the intricacies that really rung and weighed down a lot of Westerns. It's simple, it's simplistic, but there's a density behind it. And it was really nice to see Sharon Stone in a performance where she's actually performing. Sometimes she really can get that tear out in a few scenes. Sharon Stone, at this point, and even the points after, even now, is kind of laughed about in the film industry. She's good looking, though she has a shockingly horrible resemblance to Amber Heard, or Amber Heard has a shockingly odd resemblance to Sharon Stone in her heyday, her young years. I never rated Sharon Stone. She was just that woman who showed off her growler in Basic Instinct and masturbated in a bathtub in Sliver and was known for being quite forthcoming with her breasts and her pussy. And to see her in a role, and also in a role that she's dedicated to, and to a project that she obviously loves, it kind of makes you feel bad for prejudging her, because her career is built upon nudity. Rather than performance. I've never seen anything with her in it other than she's good on the eye. That's not sexist of me. She just played up to that. And I think this type of role really suits her. The movie is beautiful. The environment, the setup, the cinematography, the fucking staccato, rapido rhythms of the cut. This is Sam Raimi's most Raimiest of movies. It really is. More so than Evil Dead, just by the angles, the really extreme close-ups. You would think that a lot of theatre and bombast and energy would be infused into a genre, and from what I've watched, there's a certain lack And then when you're in a world where Quentin Tarantino is the only one who seems to know what to do with the genre, seeing this, I'm like, whoa. Quentin Tarantino gets too much credit for what he's done for the Western genre in modern cinema. Sam Raimi, it's Raimi, the horror director. No, Raimi, the entertainer, is here. Oh, I can't get over how sublime it is. Sublime. It's sensational. It's fucking bonkers, but it works. The theatricality, the almost fantastical nuances, because that's what it is. It is nuance. It's absolutely rapid fire. Also, it's really nice to see a young Russell Crowe. My God, that guy was hot in a really good performance and role. Of course, he had to have an intimate scene with Sharon Stone. I don't blame you. We've got a young Leonardo DiCaprio. Sharon Stone is all over that boy in this film, in the first half. It's kind of bait, bit baity. Prison, whatever the fuck you call it. Yeah. Is he good? He's got that weird Gilbert Grape naivety about him, except he isn't going full retard. If you've seen Tropic Thunder, that's a joke. You don't go full retard, man. Ugh, I hate that word, but that discussion in Tropic Thunder is perfect in translation of a person who's performing someone who's not neurologically typical. And that naivety and that he's good. I've got to say, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's always good in everything he's in. He really caught up with Russell Crowe in the age thing. Russell Crowe didn't age for a certain period, and even when I look at Russell Crowe and Leonardo DiCaprio, it's like you're the same age pretty much. But this movie, I can't recommend it enough. Also, Gene Hackman, born for this role, that voice, that commanding presence. He is just a badass. He out Lex Luthor's himself. It was really nice to see Jigsaw himself, Tobin Bell, in this. Keith David, I was like, yes, Keith David. And those shots, that's where you're like, that type of thing. And you could easily see that in as many ways as possible. Raimi's like, yeah, I'm gonna do my Evil Dead stuff, but a Western. And the Evil Dead premise really suits all genres. You can really see that Evil Dead premise and that Evil Dead ethos and that Evil Dead mythology working in all forms of fucking genre. Westerns. Not science fiction, no. Grey area there. We don't want a Jason X now, do we? I can't really comment on that because I haven't seen that film. But yeah. 5 stars. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. If you haven't watched it, it's pure Sam Raimi. Everything that is so good about Sam Raimi is in this movie. I can't fault it. Except I couldn't imagine a Danny Elfman score in this. I think it might have pushed it too far with those strings and his choir. But I just had so much fun. I had so much fun, and that's what Raimi wants. He wants to entertain. Robbie will be probably, gyrating at this. Let me entertain you. Yeah, I have nothing else to say, but watch this film. It's fucking great.